production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on, we thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. And now that the buttons want to, cooperate with us, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, and well done airmen, welcome to Nerd Sports 149. If you're watching us live on YouTube, notice the description of the episode. None of the buzzwords and half of the content. You are welcome.
We'll do our best.
I mean, there's nothing says loving like getting a text message from your producer on a Wednesday night when you're in class, trying like hell to pay attention. And he's like, well, you screwed up again. And I'm like, what? What did I do now? I'm just kind of sitting there going,
it's such a broad topic. Like it could be literally.
Am I the one who brought the satellite down? Am I the one that caused AT&T to go down?
Yes.
What's up, Maria?
Maria.
I brought it to everybody's attention. I don't know if you heard it. If you look at the YouTube description for the episode, none of the buzzwords, half of the content. So you are welcome. You can thank David for that because, as I was explaining, I'm sitting in class last Wednesday, and my Apple Watch is going just completely bonkers, right? And I'm like, what the actual, because we haven't hit that time. Like,
what the Farfignugan? What the French
Tango Foxtrot, Oscar? I mean, come on.
What the French toast?
Yeah, you lit liquor. That's my favorite part of the whole commercial right there.
Who you call a kitty queen? You lit liquor.
That is like the best commercial
ever. You'll never ever top that one.
I'm like, what did I do? And he goes, you said one of the buzzwords, and I was like, what? And then he told me,
you did?
Yeah, he said I did. When we were talking about Jesse the Body Ventura in the Bird prior to infill last week,
you did.
Apparently that word, the slack jaw beep beeps, that is that's a buzzword. Apparently YouTube and I don't know, Spotify and every platform that we stream on, with the exception of X. I'm not calling it X, it's Twitter. Oh my god.
It's Twitter.
It's Twitter. It used to be, hey, you can tweet now. Oh, okay, that's great. What are you doing now? Are you Xing? That sounds like something that needs to be regulated by the federal government.
I sent an X.
I sent an X. Like, where'd you send her?
Yeah. That actually, yeah, that raises some questions.
It sounds criminal as hell. I mean, it really
That's some 48 hours shit right there.
you know, I sent an X, and then next thing you know, you got Chris Edwards or whatever his name is from Dateline coming in here. He's like, "So you
Chris
sent
Hansen.
your X somewhere." And then Robert Stack comes up. He comes back from the dead wearing his trench coat, walks out of a foggy ass, alleyway, and he's like, "Next on Unsolved Mysteries."
Oh my God, Unsolved Mysteries.
Dude, I missed the original. Like, yeah, I saw when Netflix tried to reboot it and bring it back. I'm like, okay, so they just added the ability for people to use the F word. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the same spice to it, And it's just because like Robert Stack absolutely scared the dog crap out of me when I was a kid, and I'm just like,
Right, it was always like he always had the trench coat. It was like it had just rained. There was like always fog in the background. It was
right. I mean, yes, in basketball, one of my favorite cameos, yes, in fact, was Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yes.
But then there was Robert Stack, and we're past the 3.5-minute mark. So I mean, he's in there and he's going off. He's monologuing, right? And he's like, and I have absolutely no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm just like, oh, that is awesome.
I mean, let's not forget his bit in airport or in airplane when he's walking through the airport too, and just beating the shit out of everybody.
Beating the crap out of
just fucking pamphlets and shit. They're trying to,
yeah,
just
yeah,
classic.
It's like, when you get the Krishnas walking through the concourse, and they're being approached by other Krishnas, they're like, "Give to the Church of Everlasting Life." No, I gave at the office today. It's like, it is great. Now you got me wanting to go watch those movies. I have them both on Vudu. And as much as I hold the first Airplane near and dear to my heart, I will always love the second one for nothing more than just the sheer fact that William Shatner and the Enterprise are in it. He's looking through the periscope and he sees the Enterprise cruising by.
He's such a nerd.
And then he breaks the fourth wall. He's like, That's great. It's funny because all right, so I just, as Chris knows, I just got done finishing up a Star Destroyer model.
Gorgeous.
And so I'm looking, I'm in that post build kind of a funk. Like, what project do I start next? Right. I mean, I've got a Gundam model up there still that I need to do, but I'm like, man, because I've got two 1000 scale Reliance up there, and I'm just like, man, but I did score a deal on a 1/537th scale Enterprise refit.
Oh,
so instead of it being 3 feet long, it's only going to be maybe like 1.5 feet. So it's going to be like,
still,
it'll give me the perfect opportunity to practice Aztecing. So, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to order some shimmering transparent paints. And yeah, I did, however, this weekend, experiment on the Star Destroyer with a gravity cup airbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make a little bit of paint stretch a long way.
I'll bet.
Okay, Aztecing, Maria, is a modeler's term. When you're looking at something that is supposed to represent a full-size ship, say like the Enterprise, or even the Death Star, if you look at Star Wars, it gives it looks like paneling. Okay. And the paneling is supposed to represent different alloys of metal, different methods of manufacture for the same type of alloy, that kind of a thing. It's supposed to give the illusion of scale. And when it's done right, the filming studio model for the Enterprise refit, the one for the motion picture, Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3, and then later the Enterprise A, which was in 4, 5, and 6. No, it's not Glitter Bomb. No, 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 no. I was not prepared to answer this question. Ergo, I did not do the proper amount of research to share the visual aid here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably couldn't do it anyway, just simply due to the fact that I already get in enough trouble. It's not a shimmery layer. There's designs. Yeah, just look it up. Just Starfleet Aztecing patterns. That's all. That's what you just need to look up. Yeah, I already get in enough trouble with David because of my my language and my choice of certain colorful metaphors. I don't want to get in trouble by Paramount by getting a cease and desist letter talking of showing images of the Enterprise. I know I've got one back here, but we're not featuring it on the show. We're not talking about it.
It's just a static display. Well, you just did. You just did. See, now you pointed it out. You're talking about it. That's that.
Well, but we're not doing the up close.
That's true.
Okay,
that's
true. Registry numbers are not being seen. For all they know, this is some kind of a cheap Lego knockoff. Yeah,
sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so instead of starting the show off with a weird sport, my lovely wife, prior to the show going live tonight, sent me something. This is Jendal Realty. It's a Facebook post. The Super Bowl streaker was a Las Vegas local who placed a $50,000 bet that there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl. He ran on the field by himself and cashed out with a $374,000 payday and a $1,000 fine. That is quite possibly the most Vegas baller move I think I've ever heard in my life.
That's just fantastic.
And on top of that, I mean, dude, the pictures, he's wearing the most uncomfortable one piece I think I've ever seen in my life. It's hot pink. And they had to blur out the picture from the backside because it's splitting the cheeks, right? You can only imagine that the boys are, the boys are now separated like East and West Berlin up front. And I'm just like, that's just not right, man.
It's like those shoe sock things or whatever, the separate have individual toes. It just
like the vibrant five finger shoes. Dude, you know how bad and how long I wanted a pair of those?
Oh God, no. God, no. Makes me nauseous every time I see him because it can't be comfortable. There's no way.
Dude, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that run that like to run barefoot. I mean, to me, that's just a high degree of insanity. But they love those shoes, man.
No.
Now, granted, yes, they have fallen out of favor and popularity, but
those are people that aren't right in their head, anyways. Though, I mean, they're marathoners. You can't be right in the head and run a marathon.
Oh,
that's scientific.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we don't like anything between our toes either. I mean, the only thing that goes between my toes is the little thing for the flip flops.
Right. And that's where I draw the line right there. That is.
Yeah. I mean, that's about it. Every once in a while, I'll pick a Lego up off the floor, with my toes. But then I just I look for a target of opportunity, like one of my kids, and I just flip my foot at them and just, release it. You get a remarkable amount of momentum and velocity off of one of those things.
That's a dad move right there.
Oh yeah, it totally.
But listen, but you're curling the toes under, like you're making a fist with you're not putting it between your toes.
It's not warm and oozy like animal crap. Yeah, no, I get it.
Right, exactly. It's completely different.
Yeah. Well, no. Now, the only other thing besides a flip flop strap that goes between my toes is sand at the beach.
Yeah. Even that is, I'm with Anakin on this one.
That's why you lay a blanket down before you have sex in the beach, bro.
Very much with etiquette on this one, especially when it's wet.
I mean, that song, I can't. Who does it? It's my toes in the water, asses in the sand,
Zach
right?
Brown Band.
Zach Brown Band. Thank you. I can't stand the radio edit. It's
Yeah.
so repetitive. It's like my toes in the water, my toes in the sand. Like, can you not just say butt?
It's like you could say ass. Come on, you could say ass.
Are we that uptight?
Yes.
I mean, we're letting Beyonce
apparently. Oh God.
on country radio now.
No,
I mean, we can't say ass.
No.
Now, to be fair, I have not heard this song.
It's just don't.
But I am more than confident that the auto tune is going to be the death nail in the coffin for modern country music.
Think of the worst case scenario of how bad it could sound. Just picture in your head right now the worst case of how bad it could be. It's worse.
So what you're trying to tell me is that Destiny needs to keep looking for her child elsewhere.
Okay.
You see what I did there, right?
I'm trying to.
Dude, she's from down here, and I have not heard this song played on local radio at all.
No, I'm trying to find a way that I can say this and not get us with the no words. They're buzzwords. Casey,
treat us like we're in the military, and you have to break everything down at an 8th grade reading level.
Casey Anthony met Destiny's Child, and the result is this album.
You know what? That definition it's strangely erotic. Yeah, I am totally on board with that. You sexy beast.
Smelling what I'm stinking.
I applaud you, sir. I applaud you. Oh man.
That is the most apt.
Give me a mask and a snorkel and invite me to your next orgy, sir, because that was beautiful.
Oh man. Danced around that one as hard as I could.
Oh man.
Like what was that one in one of the Transformers? I'm a fat ballerina.
Yeah. John Goodman's character too.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a fat ballerina.
I like my response. I think I'm going to hold on to that one.
That was a snorkel.
Give me a snorkel and some glass and some goggles and invite me to your next orgy. That was beautiful.
Oh man.
Okay, so
visual. Can you imagine walking in the door to an orgy and you're in full scuba regalia? Just
no, man, no.
That would be amazing. I would absolutely do it. Flippers and all. I would
flippers, just some flippers, goggles, and a snorkel.
There you go.
It.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. And a watch. Well, why do you have the watch? So that way I can time it when I go below the surface.
Exactly. Safety first. I don't want to be under there,
Well, okay, so if you're trying to picture a snorkel and goggles, just imagine the old show Flipper, but we've got the more pronounced bad bod.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah. All right. So there's been some baseball news today. The Twins made a trade with the Dodgers today. They are getting outfielder Mark. Please don't start playing sound. Thank you very much. Twins traded for some insurance Monday, adding productive and versatile Manuel Margot to an outfield unit that is returning Byron Buxton from injury. Margot's 29 years of age, was acquired from the Dodgers, who got him and marquee right-hander Tyler Glasnow from the Rays in December. Margot has a 255, 309, 385 slash line with 52 home runs, 91 steals, and 283 RBIs in 8 MLB seasons with the Padres and Rays. Minnesota also received infielder Rain Duncone in the deal. The 20-year-old Duncone, who was rated as the Dodgers' number 23 prospect by MLB Hotline or Popline, pipeline. I can read. Signed for $497,500 out of the Dominican Republic in 2021, and spent last season at Single A Rancho Cucamonga. I said that properly. Yay me.
You did.
Where he slashed 215, 283, 368, and 107 games. Now, the Twins surrendered infield prospect Noah Miller, the number 36 overall pick in the 21 draft, and was ranked as Minnesota's number 23 prospect. He's the younger brother of Brewers utility man Owen Miller, and he owns a .464 on-base percentage with 12 home runs, 36 steals, and 250 minor league games, topping out at High A Cedar Rapids last season. Now, Margot's 2-year, $19 million deal expires at the end of this season, but there is a team option for 2025 worth $12 million if the Twins choose to exercise that. Now, what that ended up doing is that freed up some room on the Dodgers roster, and they went and they re-signed Kiki Hernandez. And yeah, so
should be interesting.
I just happen to be wearing my Kiki Hernandez Red Sox jersey tonight, but I mean, Kiki Hernandez, he's a good player, good guy, versatile. I mean, he's a utility guy straight up. He's got some pop at the bat. He's definitely got some speed when he's healthy. So, I mean, that's a good addition to an already stacked Dodgers lineup. The Dodgers are going to be the odds-on early favorites to go all the way this year, just based on their lineup alone. But
a very strong roster.
If one would remember, the Padres tried to do that same thing, and they haven't even gotten so much as close to the wild card spot into the season. So we'll see how that plays out. I definitely know that Dave Roberts over there, the skipper of the Dodgers, he knows how to manage a team. What's yet to be seen is the personalities clashing with each other. Now, Shohei Ohtani, yeah, he got the biggest deal that will ever be in baseball, I think. But the people that are around him, he's got Mookie Betts over there now. They just re-signed Kiki Hernandez. They've got, I mean, it just from top to bottom, there's no reason why the Dodgers should not end up in the World Series this year. Would I like to see that team fail? Oh, absolutely.
In the worst way possible.
Oh, yeah. And then I was listening to MLB Network on Sirius this weekend, and there is now talk that Mike Trout is starting to voice his displeasure with the way that the Angels ownership is treating the team.
Frankly, I think it's about time. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and he needs to start chirping. He needs to start requesting a trade because, dude, he's 33 now, 32, 33. If he waits a couple of years for something to materialize and it never does, he's going to be 37 years old. And nobody's going to want him. Your window is rapidly closing.
Yeah.
You need to get out of Anaheim. I've been saying that I said that all year last year.
You did.
I said it all off season this off season. Mike Trout needs to find a new home.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's, I mean, he's a born and bred. He was born in New Jersey, but he's a diehard Philly fan. I mean, the only drawback is that Mike Trout's an Eagles fan, but
nobody's perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. But he needs to find a new home. I mean, he needs to go to an organization that is dedicated to winning. And I'm not talking about New York, and I'm not talking about Los Angeles, the team that's just up the freeway. I'm not talking about either one of those. He needs to go to a place where they can build the roster around him for at least a couple of years, or he could augment pieces that are already into place and be that one thing that gets the teams over the hump.
Yeah.
Whether it's Boston, whether it's St. Louis, whether it's San Francisco, hell, even send him up to Seattle. And you know that the Astros faithful would love to see him down here.
Oh God, yeah. I
Can you
I
imagine Mike
get to
Trout
see
playing in
that.
Houston?
Oh God, that'd be. Speaking as a Rangers fan, that'd be terrifying.
Right. Speaking of Rangers fans,
I would not want to see that.
the Colin Montgomery sweepstakes. I don't want to call it the sweepstakes. Scott Boras has got 4 clients that are yet to be signed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is his fault.
Yes.
He's got these guys convinced that their production from last season is worth them getting, top dollar. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Colin Montgomery absolutely tore it up in the postseason. He had an amazing postseason run. And you know that the Yankees would love to have him back. But, and you know the Rangers would love to have him back.
Mm-hmm.
But what version of Colin Montgomery are people going to get?
Exactly.
Are you going to get the version that the Yankees wanted to get rid of and couldn't wait to get rid of? Or are we going to get the guy who shined the second half of the season and all the way through to the end of the World Series? And there's a lot of people that are saying that the team that is favored to sign him is the Red Sox. Now Cody Bellinger, he was one of Scott Boras's 4 people that hadn't signed. He's found a home. Now, the Red Sox met with Colin Montgomery today. Fun little fact. Colin Montgomery's wife is she's a travel nurse. And she signed a 1-year contract. She's actually working at a hospital in the Boston area for the next year.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, now Alex Cora, who is the Red Sox manager, said that the team met with Montgomery over Zoom during the weekend before spring training. A National League executive told Peter Gammons, who's, if you ever watched ESPN baseball, I mean, you know who Peter Gammons is. Longtime baseball guy, smart, knows the game inside out. They told Peter Gammons on Sunday that Boras and the Red Sox had a good meeting recently and may get some deal eventually done with Montgomery. Now the Angels are interested in getting him, but I think that what the Angels are hoping for is that he goes unsigned for a long time, long term, like just before camp breaks for everybody.
Yeah,
and then get him on the cheap.
Right. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a hell of a gamble.
It is, and 9 times out of 10, it does not pay off.
Right.
Now, the Red Sox have been linked throughout the offseason to Montgomery. Now, he spent the offseason in Boston as his wife she's not a travel nurse. She's in a residency program at a hospital in Boston as a dermatologist.
Okay.
So WEEI, it's the sports radio up there in Boston. They've got a guy, Rob Bradford, love that dude to death. He reported last week that the Red Sox are prioritizing him. But they were waiting for the price to come down. Now, the price coming down is a direct relation to the way that Scott Boras does things. Scott Boras was responsible for people like A-Rod getting the size of the contract that he got, the size of the contract with the Yankees that Jacoby Ellsbury got after the 2013 season. These large, overly inflated contracts, a lot of them are directly related to Scott Boras. And I think Scott Boras, ultimately, at the end of the day, he needs to be humbled and realize that what he's doing is not good for the sport. No. Yeah, these guys have 15 minutes of fame and they need to earn as much as they can before their bodies give out. But at the end of the day, it doesn't do any good to make $300-something million over the course of 6 years if there's nobody in the stands to pay that salary.
All you're doing is screwing the team over.
You're screwing the team. You're screwing the fans. You're screwing the owners.
Yep.
Now, I mean, unless you got Steinbrenner money and the blind lemming, mentality of New York Yankees fans that want to pay taxes in the New York area and pay for those ticket prices to be able to see those guys put on pinstripes. fine, go for it. I dare you. But 9 times out of 10, when you put yourself and also when you build an all-star team to make a regular season run, personalities are going to butt heads big time in that locker room. They're going to butt heads big time in the dugout. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, everybody is chasing stats.
Yep.
Because not everybody's contract expires at the same time. So you're going to get guys that are going to be like, well, I know that this is a bunting situation, or I just need to make a sacrifice and get the runner over. But nah, I'm going to be out there doing this, and then they press too hard and they ground out, or they hit into double plays. And then you're going to get guys that are going to start running into slumps because they're pressing too hard. And what happens? They extend their slump. They extend the streak of hitless games, or they start making defensive errors, and then they get lambasted by the New York media and the fans.
Yep.
To me, it's just not worth it. Yeah, it's just not worth it at all. Now, Ken Rosenthal, who writes for The Athletic, and he's also on Fox Sports' baseball broadcasts. He said that Montgomery and the other big name free agents, remaining, may end up settling for a shorter term deal with less overall value. This late in the spring, this close to opening day, because unless these guys have taken it upon themselves to go out and train during the offseason and stay in baseball shape, stay stretched out, stay, in top condition. And they've been, like in the case of pitchers, they've been working on their stuff. They've talked to pitching coaches, and they've had work, off-season workouts. Like Trevor Story, he invited several Red Sox players down to his place in Fort Worth during the offseason and held a camp. Workouts, lifting, baseball activities, hitting, fielding. Everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine, great. Now that Justin Turner's gone and he went up north to Toronto, the Red Sox are lacking that locker room leadership. Now, granted, Rafael Devers, who still looks like he's fucking 14, he's stepping up and he's becoming a little bit more vocal. But Trevor Story, he needs to be leading the charge. He needs to be the voice of calm and reason in the dugout, in the locker room. Almost like he needs to take, almost like Dustin Pedroia was during his time with the Red Sox. Trevor Story needs to step into that role. But there's a timeline that's been built. Going back as far as like the 22nd, there was, talks about, Montgomery being linked with the Red Sox, and it's been basically, it's all off season long. Do I think that he would be a good fit? Yeah, I think that he would. I think that the Red Sox do need to pony up and come off with some of the cash. It's been very apparent that since they brought Craig Breslow in as the general manager, they're wanting him to do what Chaim Bloom couldn't or wasn't allowed to. But when Craig Breslow comes in and says, "Hey, we're going to go full throttle this offseason," and gets Red Sox Nation all up in a tizzy, and then they don't,
yeah,
and then you start seeing the Fenway group, who is the ownership group comprised of John Henry, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I can't. It's off the top of my head. It's right there. Anyways, you see the ownership group for the Red Sox investing their money in other ventures like soccer clubs. It's like, what are they doing here? Are they going to put the team up for sale? Because if they are, somebody needs to step in. Elon Musk, please buy the Red Sox.
Right.
Buy the Red Sox and spend money on them. Really.
Can you imagine?
Please. It's bad enough that the earth does not deserve Elon Musk. Honestly.
I don't know, man. I was on the way home on the way to pick my girlfriend up from work, and a brand new, still with the paper tags on it, Tesla Cybertruck drove.
They are the ugliest thing, dude.
and I almost threw up in my mouth. It was the worst. It's bad enough seeing them in pictures. It was live right next to my fucking window, and I almost threw up in my mouth. It was the stupidest.
Funny is that somebody went out and bought one, and then they did an engine swap on it. They put a 5.3 liter Chevy engine in it.
It's the only way to make it usable.
I know, but I secretly think that Elon Musk sits back and like when he came up with the idea for the Cybertruck, he was like, "There's no way people are going to buy this thing."
It's like he pushes to see how far he can get away with shit.
I think that's exactly what his mentality was with the Cybertruck, and
like, there's no way.
Somebody up in Wichita Falls bought one because I see it like being posted by people that still live there on my Facebook page all the time, and I'm like, that is the ugliest fucking thing, And I think it was the same one that I saw when I was driving up to Wichita to take the boys home. I was like, oh my god, dude,
that's so bad.
Seriously. I mean, it was on the north side of 287, once you get out of Decatur, but I was like, that is, I had to do a double take. I'm like, is that what I think it is? And as soon as it passed us going the other way, I was like, oh my god. I mean, like,
why? Just why? It's not even
AI. I mean, the OS that's in them is probably smart enough to where it can hear people just judging it as it drives by. I mean, I'll give Elon Musk this. I mean, he trolls the crap out of people relentlessly, but at least he didn't do what Dodge did. They came out with an EV Challenger, right?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. This was at a Barrett Jackson auction. It was a Dodge Challenger EV with simulated exhaust sounds.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Somebody at Dodge.
This is what it would
sound was like. A good idea. They were like, guys, they were like, hear me out.
Listen, bro.
I got this great idea.
It's like, no, hear me out, man.
Shaggy came to a designer's meeting. He's like, "Oh, like I've got this idea, man."
Let me ask you this: which one looks worse, the Cybertruck or the brand new Mustang?
I think it's a Cybertruck, hands down.
Have you seen the new Mustang?
The Dark Horse?
the fucking brand new one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't think it looked that bad. Now the NASCAR version that the 4 teams are fielding,
well,
that was mean as shit.
Okay, great. Yeah. But I saw one the other day that it said Mustang, it had the pony on it. It looked like a fucking SUV.
Oh no, dude, that's not the new one. That's the Mustang Mach-E. That's now out of production. So all of the Mach-E's that you're seeing driving around on the road are all used.
Thank God, because it was disgusting.
Yeah. There was a memo put out by Ford. It was in Forbes magazine, I think it was, that they're discontinuing the production of the Mach-E because sales just did not meet its. The sales didn't meet their expectations.
We're
going to attach like this muscle, this muscle moniker, and we're going to slap a battery in it. It's like. The job that I used to have before I moved down here, where we're putting like coatings on concrete.
Yeah,
concrete coating, basically, like garage floors, crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were in, I want to say, Aledo, in the garage that we were doing. The owner of that house had one parked in their garage.
I would hide it too.
We asked them to move it, and the lady went out there. She pressed the button. It didn't make a sound, and all she did was just roll back. And we were just like,
it's so disturbing.
Mustangs are supposed to make noise.
Yes.
Hey,
noise.
Granted, you hear that noise a majority of the time, seconds before they hit a light pole or something because the teenagers driving them that way don't know how.
Hey, you can't blame that's not the car's fault. Well,
No, it's not the car's fault. It's the people who drive.
well.
And I will I will die on this hill. But when the Camaro, let me finish. When the Camaro came back, right? And then Pontiac, before Pontiac was shut down, they came out with their Trans Am, rebirth kind of a thing. And it was just an offshoot of the F body, right?
Yeah.
You had middle-aged men going out and buying these Trans Ams with T-tops on them. And they're like, oh, I got the Pontiac. Like, dude, you are officially Metro now, and you're just a beta. And like, what do you mean?
Smokey, you are, or Bandit, you are not.
Firebirds stopped being cool in the 80s.
In like 1985.
A few years. I mean, the last cool Firebird was the Bandit car.
Yeah, and that was in the 70s.
Yeah, with the flaming chicken.
That was
right?
79, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was.
Anyways,
no,
yeah.
It was like
After that movie came out, Firebirds, every iteration of the Trans Am with the flaming chicken on the hood, not cool. Not cool.
It's too derivative.
And I know that we have I know Maria's in the audience, and I know she's listening.
Yes,
I'm not saying this in any kind of misogynistic, sexist way. But the Firebird before Pontiac's demise was relegated to the type of car that daddy with too much money bought for his daughter in hopes that it would keep her from ending up on a pole after graduation. Okay. You have middle-aged men buying teenage girl cars.
Fair.
Just kind of putting that out. Anyways.
Fair.
So now we're moving on. All right. So we have that extra viewer that popped in right there at the tail end of that rant.
Nope, I'm out.
And they're like, wait, what? And it would be our luck that it would be that one person that's like, man, I fucking love the Firebird, man. Talk shit about my car?
Man, fuck these guys.
Look, if you're the type of person that will defend the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s Firebirds, you're the same type of person that probably bought a Berlinetta edition Camaro, took off the T-tops, you had your mullet flowing in the wind, you got your sleeveless jean jacket, and you're screaming the lyrics to REO Speedwagon that's playing on your blown out factory stock speakers. Just don't. It's okay.
But I like REO Speedwagon.
Hey, look, REO Speedwagon is great. Okay. Let me
not a dig on REO Speedwagon.
Let me amend my statement. Not REO Speedwagon. Air Supply.
Oh God.
Okay.
It's both better and worse.
Air Supply, or you were that one dude who was like Europe's super fan, and when the final countdown came out, all people heard blaring from your car, and you played air guitar while you were driving, which explains why the front fenders and the nose of your car, of your Berlinetta Camaro did not live past the first 18 months of ownership.
They would follow that up with David Hasselhoff.
Right. In German.
I feel like anybody that would listen to that unironically would be listening to David Hasselhoff. In the original German, because it's not
the unironic fan. Or no, they were the guys who loved 99 left balloons. The English version, the 99 red balloons.
Yeah, no. You get it's the German version is the only version of that song that's accepted.
Yeah. We all know that it's talking about nuclear war. You just, you have to learn just enough German just enough German to get you by in that song. That's all we're asking.
Or the Jaguar. The Jaguar.
The Jaguar. You have to say it with an English accent, like
XK 140.
Your upper lip is so stiff that, like, if you were in the process of dying, you couldn't. Your back couldn't arch. You had to bend over at the waist.
Jaguar.
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 XK 140.
XK 140. Oh. I say.
And then here comes Shaggy from Litchfield. Like my Dodge Power Wagon Ram van, man. Like nobody can beat that, huh?
Dude. Anybody who says they wouldn't drive that van is a damn liar.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, and you have to get it painted like the Mystery Machine.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
With the matching hubcap rims.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't either. It's like that Twitter account, like humans without context kind of a thing.
Yeah. Let's just say that Maria really likes this car.
Yeah.
Really likes this car. Just want it in Vegas. Of course, it's in Vegas.
Of course, it's
And of course, you know that.
I bet you it's in the count shop too. He's got Horny Mike, painting it as we speak.
Oh, yeah. Maria, you kill me. Yes. I also know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Maria making the attempt to promote. She's promoting her she's plugging her starring role in the next episode of My Strange Addiction on TLC.
Shameless self-promotion.
Was it that one kid? Like, he's sitting there washing his Monte Carlo with his dad, right? And then he's like, "Oh, I have sex with my car," and his dad's like, "What am I supposed to do with that?"
Exactly. I don't even respond to that. I don't even.
Okay, the Scooby van is in Vegas. Okay, listen. It's called the Mystery Machine.
It's right. It's not the Scooby van.
Not the Scooby van. You don't see Scooby behind the wheel going, "We're gonna do some burnouts, bro." No.
If anything, it'd be the Shaggin' Wagon.
Like, I eat my Scooby snacks in here, if you know what I mean. Right?
You can't tell me that they have not all gotten busy in there at least once.
Right? I'm just kind of saying.
Cannot tell me
that starts back, dude. Fred was down for some freaky shit.
Oh, hell yeah. And everybody talks about, what was it? Daphne? Velma's the freak.
Oh, dude. Yeah, with the glasses and the turtleneck.
Oh, Tom, say it.
Bro.
She's the freak. Daphne would be the kind where, you want to put it where? No.
Like,
Velma would already be.
Dude. Who was it? The girl, she's from Grandma's Boy, but she played Velma in the movies. Dude.
Yes. I can't remember.
That was single-handedly the reason. That and Matthew Lillard was single-handedly the reason why I watched those movies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm like, that dude. The ultimate incarnation of Velma.
Yes. And also, Maria, we read what we read, so you can try to say otherwise. We read what we read. Okay.
Yeah, it was there. And see, we lost the viewer because they're
like
Scooby and the Mystery Machine and Velma.
Y'all need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus. Hey, Colin, what's up, bud?
What's up, dude? Save us, bro.
Oh,
We're going to.
Maria has taken us into a weird left field.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have done very good to not use any of the bad words that are on YouTube's list.
We have avoided
okay,
all.
I'm reading the comments over here.
Yeah.
See, that's Maria over here corrupting our youth.
I'm telling you. I mean, that almost warrants like.
You ever seen that video? That
We
that
are.
the videos of like people that have like problems, and it's the guy that's like kissing his car.
No,
We were just talking about that.
Literally what we're talking.
Literally just talking about that.
Yes.
I mean, Maria corrupting the youth of America almost warrants a Christopher Walken impression. Let me see if I can garner this here. Hold on. You see, what we have here is a complete breakdown of everything that is holy. Oh my, look at it. It's terrible. It's crumbling. It's like it's like trying to take a road trip to Maine from Boston. It doesn't work like at all.
When you give that mouse,
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find another copy of this book because, like, okay, so you know the whole "Give a Mouse a Cookie" book series.
Yeah.
I read that specific book to the boys when they were younger, right?
Yeah.
And I always did it in the voice of Christopher Walken.
That's fantastic.
Right. And I tried reading it normally one night and they were like, no. I say nay. You know,
Nay, nay.
Do the voice. And I'm like, okay, so. And then there was one spot where Reagan would always be like, again, do it again, you know? And I'm like, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk.
Yeah. You got to get the shoulders.
He's greedy. And then you give that mouse a glass of milk. He's going to want to look in the mirror to see if he has a milk mustache. Oh my. Right. And that would be the one part. Do it again. A milk mustache.
Moustache.
You know, you know, like, you know, you get at the part where like the mouse starts helping you clean up the house, you know, and I don't get it. Like, how's he gonna hold the broom? He's so tiny. It's impossible. Now, okay, so Jason Pollock, the actor, right? He does he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
If you go on Spotify or whatever and you look up his comedy albums, he does an entire bit as Christopher Walken. And he does impressions like Alan Arkin, back when Alan Arkin was still alive, Paul Reiser, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, if I ever get sad, if I ever get depressed, if I ever feel just down, I always imagine listening to Christopher Walken reading the lyrics to American Pie.
Yes.
He goes, I drove my Chevy down to the levee. And when you know it, that bastard was dry. The two good old boys. They were drinking both whiskey and rye. Oh my.
Why?
It's so great, right?
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to look that up.
And he was talking about like he's got a William Shatner impersonation, and he said he actually got to meet William Shatner one day, and he's like, "So I hear that you do an impression of me. Let me hear it." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Let me hear it." And like, if I remember the way that the bit goes, he was like, "It's okay." Right? And he goes, "Wait a minute. Who the hell are you to judge me about my impression of you?
Which
the problem
honestly,
is that once I start doing that Christopher Walken impression, like it's so hard to get it out of your voice. Like you just you have to like eeny meeny miny mo, and like even still, like you just it's there. You just can't do it. And what makes it easier is the fact that I can do that Boston, that New England accent so well. Because that's where Christopher Walken is from. He's from the Boston area.
right.
So it's really easy to put it out there. It's so good.
You can't call it back.
You can't.
Oh, look what I found at Target.
Oh, you're gonna have to bring that with you on spring break.
Yeah, I don't know if it's all the books in one.
I think it is.
Because it's a really thick book.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Dude, when those were coming out, like the comic books, I've got 2 of the 4 issues.
I thought you found them all.
You couldn't find them all. And then on top of that, they had all the alternate covers. Bro, I'm just like, this is why I got out of collecting comic books.
I thought you found them all and then you like cased them.
I've got 2 of them. And I'm eventually gonna send them off to get graded, but I just like, dude, seriously, at this point, like I would buy the copies and then I would go online to read the digital version, so that way I'd never open up the ones that I bought.
Yeah.
Is what it is. With that being said, Colin, are you ready to enlighten us with your witty repertoire? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Ronin, bent on wrongdoing that which has been set right.
Oh, it's been set
Here
right.
for your ears and eyes to feast upon. It is my genetic code. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, it is time for Joke Time with Colin.
Oh my. Here we go.
You need to have a recording for us of you reading that intro in the Christopher Walken voice. You need to have a recording of that.
I will try to set that up for next week.
Oh my god, that should be the 150 episode.
Next week is the 150 episode.
Is it?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
This so
Maria's accusing violence. She wants you to hit us.
You're gonna have to read the second joke. Just I want to put it out here.
Oh my god! All right, send it to me, dude.
Well, hold on. I gotta do the first joke.
Okay.
What's the difference between Stephen Hawking and his computer? His computer runs.
Damn it.
You're wrong for that. Wow.
That is awesome. That's a good one. Oh, wow. Strong start. Hell yeah. That's amazing.
He's reading it. He read it.
Don't say the actual word. Just say it like you've typed it.
But then it's not as...
Yeah, it will be because it's still coming from you. But you don't understand. Okay. That is one of those words that it's not on the YouTube list. It's on the list that can get me in trouble, not only with my wife, but your mother. And I'm trying.
It won't get us in trouble, but it'll get him in trouble.
Yeah. So, if you love me, you'll read it the way that you typed it.
We can fill in the blanks. We have a vivid imagination.
Yeah. I gotta read it again. Pedophiles really suck. They're effing immature assholes, you know.
Wow. That one.
That one's spicy.
That one.
Oh,
Delayed reaction on that.
That one.
I gotta say though, the delivery on that one was perfect. That was a really good
I had to
delivery.
read it again because I'm like, how am I going to approach this?
Oh my god.
You know, it
is a
it was
fucking
weird.
fuck.
It was weird, like saying it though. So I'm like effing. So it's like that's a like it's kind of like a stump in the joke, you know.
No,
No, it's
because
really
we all heard the word
yeah.
loud and clear. We all heard it.
Mm.
Solid. 2 solid ones right out the gate, man. That's awesome.
That's all, folks.
Mm-mm. I'm waiting for my brain to drop back to gears. Dude,
Broke Maria.
I read it and I gave the green light on it, so I knew that it was coming. But dude, I'm the one that okayed the fire mission. I'm the one that's telling the crew, hang rounds, and I'm still just bewildered. The fact, I mean,
There's
Colin, that joke had the effect of an MLRS. You have effectively unalived an entire grid square. That is a 1 square kilometer off of a map.
yes, that is rearranging landmarks level event.
Yeah, no, for the record, Maria, you clearly didn't do that level of corruption. That's on me. America, you are welcome. Dude, you have no.
Let's talk about
The more savage side of your DNA code comes from me. Okay. Those are the type of jokes that would put your mother into cardiac arrest. Those are the type of jokes. Those are the type of jokes that, depending on the company that I'm in, I have no problem telling.
Mhm.
So, you're welcome, America. Just kind of putting that out there. Are you going to stick around? Because it's gonna. We're not gonna be on here for another hour. Just I've still got to go over NASCAR, and that's about it.
Yep.
All right. With that being,
I'm almost finished watching Doug. So,
It's just
I mean,
we all
with that being said,
kind of need a moment on that one.
one got a little bit of a kick to it.
for years, I walked around with this hunk of metal in my ass. No. You knew what I had to do to get this watch to you. Holy crap. Okay.
Gone without regard for your moral well-being. You have been witness to yet another traumatic episode of my genetic code assaulting your soul without consent. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
I'm still reeling.
It's like a withdrawal.
I'm okay with the fact that we've got dead air right now. I am. David's not going to be. He's going to be like, oh, I've got something to edit.
Fine.
Oh, wow. You know, David, you need to leave the dead air in here for context and impact.
There, yes.
So, editor's note. I'm just kind of putting that out there. Please, just for the love of God and in the name of all that is holy, just leave the episode unpolished. Just let this turd roll downhill and let the chips fall where they may. This
Yeah, I feel like the outro really fits for this episode of My Joke Times.
Yeah, Maria absolutely concurs. She goes, there was absolutely no regard for our well-being at all.
None.
And
At all, even a little bit.
I
golf clap.
could not care less.
Golf clap for you. Golf clap, sir. There you go. Okay. There
I
was
got a bluey shirt.
you got a bluey shirt.
Yeah, I got at Target. I got a bluey shirt.
Nice. You ever notice that a majority of like fictional dogs have all been blue?
Speaking of Bluey,
The video game came out on Game Pass.
no, Johnny knows exactly what I'm gonna say.
Go for it. Deliver it. Deliver us from evil, please.
So supposedly, one of the animators of the show got fired because he was suggesting there was some shenanigans going on in the bedroom, that there was a cuck chair set to the side that he liked to watch. And he drew that in there a few episodes. Supposedly he got fired for it.
Oh, I know Clifford was red and Snoopy was white, black and white, but like
Brian the dog is also black and white.
no. I'm talking about like the major children's show
Pluto
dog
was orange.
20 years.
Pluto was orange.
Listen, Blue from Blue's Clues and Bluey.
2 dogs, not majority.
No. Hey, you know what? Your sister would beg to differ. She grew up. She absolutely just
Harry's blue,
what?
like Perry the Platypus.
Oh no, Perry's turquoise, and he's a platypus, and they don't do much. Okay, here's some mind scarring imagery here for you, Maria. Clifford was red. Can you imagine the size of the red rocket?
Would it still be a red rocket?
I didn't. want
Hey,
that.
yeah, and there's your sister. She goes, Blue's Clues is still my itch. I'll tell you what, Colin.
Would it be more like a
I sat and watched Blue's
I've
Clues.
seen Blue's
Let me
Clues.
finish. Quit running your sewer. Let me talk. I watched Blue's Clues so much with your daughter, or with your sister when she was growing up, that when Steve came out and was like, he didn't come out, but when he like made his little video, like, oh, there you are, and he told everybody how proud he was of them. Dude, I felt that. I'm a grown ass man watching the original Blue's Clues. I'm like, somebody, we just got a letter. I get down with that.
same age.
Right? I had the handy dandy notebook, right? With the big crayon, whole 9 yards, right?
You know what? I just got a letter.
When Steve came and told everybody that I'm really proud of where you've been. I'm really proud of what you've done. Dude, I felt that. I felt that in my.
Now that I'm running it back, we just got a letter thing makes me think of during the Pee-wee show, where when they get like a little thing delivered.
The fact that Cherry told Pee-wee to sit on her, I mean, basically was telling Pee-wee to sit on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let that sit. Yeah, see, and your sister's like, she cried so much when Steve returned. Yeah, totally get that. Totally get that. And I would totally get down and watch the live action Blue's Clues movie on Paramount Plus.
I have a question. What? The AMT, I think the AMT Plus thing.
What?
The streaming service.
AMC Plus?
Yeah. Do we have that?
No.
Okay.
No, I refuse to pay for every streaming service under the sun.
I know. The Rick and Michonne show came out for Walking Dead.
I know. I know. Might want to check to see if it's on Hulu.
It's not. It's only on.
Okay. Well, I will figure it out. Stop
Yeah.
ruining your child. Maria, what are we doing to ruin your childhood? Please clarify. I need some context here. Honestly. I mean, being is that you're roughly the same age as I am, your childhood should be Rainbow Bright, My Little Pony, and She-Ra being your biggest heroes on Saturday mornings, along with Smurfette.
Colin just read what I wrote.
It's an ICP. I don't know, but it would be
That's
awfully
considered a rocket.
Wait for it. It would be awfully naughty. Okay, so now that we've gone off the rails, we can for about 8 minutes now.
Try to reel it back in.
Okay.
Wait, have you? So, Dad, hold on, real quick.
What?
So you remember Little Einstein's, right? You remember that show?
Yeah, we're going on a trip in our favorite.
Have you ever noticed how, like, I don't make this sound like. Have you ever noticed the one that stands weird?
Be careful. I think that you're rapidly approaching territory that is detrimental to our show.
Okay, hold on.
I love how you worded that.
Because, as you know,
no,
that is a slippery slope that you're putting yourself on there. And yes, we're not going to talk about that.
See, exactly. That's why I'm like, remember the one that stands weird? Out of all of them, he's the only one that stands differently.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So there was a NASCAR race in Atlanta this weekend.
Yes, there was.
It's a drafting race. So, it's basically when they reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway, they configured it to a super speedway race. This victory was a damn near photo finish and had the third closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. 0.003 seconds was the margin of victory. We are talking 3 inches.
Jeez.
Now, David, when you go back later and listening to the episode, hoping that you don't find one of those buzzwords, to put it into perspective, to get 3 inches, you have to pump 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Put 3 Davids back to back, and you would reach 3 inches.
Yes. And that's in and out. So there you go.
That's true.
Forever now.
So you gave him a little bit.
You shall be known as David Bonaparte. So immediately, yeah. So immediately, the internet. God, love the internet. We're coming out with memes like this victory, this finish reminded me of, and then they showed the scene from Cars where Lightning's got his tongue out and they finished the cross at the same time to force the one race playoff.
Yep.
I was like, that's amazing. Yeah. I didn't catch the race because what was I doing on Sunday? Oh my God. Oh, I was finishing up the Star Destroyer on Sunday. So yeah, there you go. But I'm sitting there and I get a text from my dad and he's like, hey, here's the Atlanta, results. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. So I went back and I pulled up the video from the end of the race and I'm just like sitting there going, boy. Yeah. It was as Daniel Suarez won the race. Ryan Blaney finished second. Kyle Busch got third. And they finished 3 wide at the start at the line.
Yeah.
Yo,
It was nuts. You watch the video on there, and it was an intense finish for sure.
yeah, I mean, and to almost to a T. That every driver tweeted out that was a fun race to run.
Yeah.
You know, so but next week we've got, let me see here. We've got the on Sunday, March 3rd at 2:30 Eastern or 2:30 Central. It's going to be the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I swear, one of these days, as a show, we're going to get out there to Las Vegas and catch a race.
Yes.
Just for the sheer experience of going to Las Vegas, Motor Speedway. It's owned by the same group that owns Texas. So it's set up the same way as far as like the track configuration. But obviously the fanfare is going to be scaled up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the next 5 races, you've got Las Vegas, you've got Phoenix, you've got Bristol Motor Speedway, and then you've got the Circuit of Americas, which is going to be the first road race of the year. Down there at Coda. It's actually geographically, Chris, it's up there from us in Austin.
Correct. It is.
Yeah. So
a little closer to me than to you, but
yeah, just a little bit closer. Yeah. What's funny is I found myself getting caught up in that deep, dark rabbit hole that is TikTok. For whatever reason, the algorithm just like,
it's been throwing a ton of NASCAR stuff at me lately.
Yeah, I think
it's weird because I haven't been searching for it. It just shows up.
It's just there, yeah. But some facts about Texas, right? And I was like, okay, all right, okay. El Paso is closer to Los Angeles than El Paso is to the eastern border of the state.
Yeah.
Dalhart, Texas is closer to the state capital of 6 different states than it is to Austin.
Yep.
Now, when Mindy and I went to Boston a couple of years ago, where we got engaged, and we're just spending some time up there. We took Lyft everywhere, right? And we're talking to all these Lyft drivers, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" That kind of thing. We tell them Texas, and they're like, "This is such a long drive to get over here. It's like an hour." We're like. An hour gets us to Houston, and they're like,
drive an hour for lunch.
Yeah, and she announces to to the Lyft driver, she's like, it takes me 6.5 hours to get from my house to his, and we're still in the same state, and right. They're just completely blown away, and they're like, you could drive for 12 hours easy and be in the same state, and they're like, no. Oh yeah.
Big time.
We're just kind of sitting there going like, yeah. I halfway expected one of them to ask, like, well, yeah, it takes you all day because you guys are on horseback or whatever. At which point I probably would have just punched the guy in the back of the head. But
yeah, we drive faster than you do, buddy.
Yeah. The speed limit in Texas is just merely a suggestion. The state highway, the state troopers give you on the average anywhere from 5 to 8 miles an hour over.
Right.
As long as you're not impeding traffic.
Yeah.
Good God.
Come on, man. Our speeding ticket is a felony in your state, so
yeah, it's like, if you get pulled over for speeding in Texas, I guarantee you are going instantly to jail in every other state in the union.
Right. Like, there ain't no way.
Night. To kind of 2 hours in Massachusetts will get you probably from Boston. You could probably get to, I don't know, Vermont in 2 hours.
Oh God, you could get to like 4 states in 2 hours.
Oh yeah. And what's funny is like,
hours will barely get you to another city here.
It's funny when you talk to people who are from Texas and they join the military, right? And then they get stationed in Italy or someplace like that. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, dude, I save, they talk about saving so much money because like what they do is, instead of flying home on leave, they just pack up the car and take a road trip, and they go to like 7 different countries,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 days. I'm just sitting there going,
That's yeah. People don't realize that Europe is literally like Texas is the size of Europe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Texas is bigger than France, and our fries are better than yours. So I mean, it's yeah. I love being from here. It's so great.
Special.
Like, but the one of the best questions that I love fielding is people when they realize that I'm a Red Sox fan, they're like, "Oh, what are you from there?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from here." And they're like, "Well, how did you end up a Red Sox fan?" So I love telling the story, that I just learned about the game, and God struck me down as one of his favorite whipping children and made me a Red Sox fan. And they just kind of look at me, and I'm like, "What?"
You love the sport more when you have
And before last year, I always loved pointing that out to Rangers fans, right? They're like, what do you mean whipping child? I'm like, do I need to bring up Nelson Cruz? And they're like, oh, well, fuck you, buddy.
Listen, we all know.
Like,
we all know.
And if David Freese ever became a free agent and came to Texas, he might get the quietest reception at his first home at bat.
Right.
Like people would sit there and go, I am not entirely sure if I should root for this guy or not because
Yeah.
I'll
do it, but it's almost against my will.
I mean, how do you approach a guy that anally raped the entire fan base with the barrel of the bat? And he used pine tar as the lube.
You gotta.
That would be like me rooting for Aaron fucking Boone.
Basically, the key is to breathe. You gotta breathe through it.
Just breathe, relax.
Yeah.
Become one with the bat. Yeah, I get you.
You kind of sometimes.
I mean, you and I should know. I mean, after having taken that big green weenie, that gnarled up piece of steel rebar the Army liked to use on its soldiers,
wrapped in concertina wire and dipped in hot sauce.
Rusty concertina wire that's been bathed in MRE Tabasco sauce. It's still
yes. And not the new stuff. You're talking about the Tabasco from the brown MREs, the old school Desert Storm level.
And the only thing that you had to look forward to was the cherry nut cake and the cookie bar that you could sharpen your bayonet with.
3 decades of marinating in there.
Yeah, that's the kind of memories that make you bite your lower lip and just kind of close your eyes.
Cheese, man.
I mean, that's
where it's at, man.
That's on a whole other level. Like what is that? That's Trantic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you haven't lived until you've ascended. The koala bear, the great koala bear of the cosmos waves at you as you're floating, going, oh. Shaolin monks are looking at you with a degree of jealousy because you've obtained a level of consciousness that they can only dream.
You get that chocolate mint pound cake with it too.
Oh, bro. Yeah. And then you take your cocoa beverage powder and you put just enough water in it to where it turns into that paste.
Yeah, you mix the creamer with it. You got to have the coffee creamer with it.
Right, the creamer, and you use it as a frosting.
Yes,
bro. Or you get the guys that take their canteen cups and put it on the engine block of the Humvee, and it turns into a little brownie.
Yeah,
brah.
Yeah,
bro. Well, let's not get into the whole. You can use your beverage-based powder as brass shiner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We had one guy's. I'm not gonna mention his name. He came to us brand new. We immediately went to the field, And you know how when you go to take a crap or whatever, minimum 75 meters away, right?
Right.
Well, he went down to the
Dig a
bottom.
hole, you heathen.
Right. Dig a hole. So, you know, he went down to the bottom of this washout area, right? And we're up on this ridge line. And he's gone like for a while. And we're sitting around like, and we're up 4. And so we're sitting there going like, we've got to go set up. Like, where is this dude at? And I mean, like, people are getting assed up, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're about to start having to go online looking for this dude. And then here comes the XO's truck, right? And the XO hops out and he's like, I found something that belongs to y'all. And we're like, did you? And here comes dude, pops out of the back of the truck. And we're like, where in the actual fuck did you go? And the XO's driver, who used to be the gunner on the gun that I took over,
yeah,
you know, he was like, well, we were down there working at the cemetery. And we're like, wait, what? Yeah, the cemetery. So we pulled out the map, and the only cemetery that was even remotely close was a full click away.
What the hell?
And the XO's like, yeah, he just pops up out of the damn wood line, you know, on the other side of the hardball. And we're like, where the fuck are you? Where did you come from? And we're, you know, and we looked at him and we're like, what have you got to say for yourself? And the story that he wove, dude. Okay.
Somebody forgot their Ranger beads.
No. It's so much better. He went to go take a shit. And you know how in the back 40 of every army post, people drop their dogs off because they're shitty human beings, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these dogs turn feral and they pack up.
Yeah.
Right? He's sitting there taking a dump next to a tree. He looks up at the ridge line opposite of us and he sees a pack of dogs. And they start coming down. Like, they're not going to attack him. And he freaks out. He's thinking they're wild dogs. And we're like, dude, you took your weapon with you. Shoot them.
Right.
Like, I have a blink adapter. They don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, what did you do? He goes, I took off running. We're like, what? He's like, I'm running. I've got my pants down around my ankles. I'm trying to pull my
You
pants
didn't even take the time to pull them up.
And we're like, did you didn't are you running with shit on your ass? And everything? He's like, yeah. And like, I flew up a tree. And we're like, wait, are you telling us that a pack of dogs treed you like you were a raccoon or something? And he was like, yeah. And I just like stayed up there until they started going away. And we're like, did you at least wipe your ass while you were in the tree? And he's like, well, yeah. So once the last dog left, he climbs out of the tree and just starts walking until he hits a road. And then there he came up on that cemetery. And there's the XO going, where the fuck did you come from? Right. So my squad leader at the time, he was like, hold up, I fucking got this. Right. And he looks at me and goes, give me your fucking beverage powder packet. Right. And it was a cherry beverage powder. Yeah. And he hands it to this kid. And he's like, this is now an inspectable item.
Yes.
Keep that shit shiny and unfucked. Keep it in your cargo pocket. Every time you are asked, you will present that for inspection.
Oh, man.
And dude, we were out in the field for probably another week, I think, if I remember right. And oh my God, dude, it was the most hilarious. He got so, like that, like the next night.
Orient yourself, knowing which way.
Right. The next night, right? We're set up. We've got a perimeter, you know, and it's his turn to walk guard, right? Walk the perimeter, right?
Yeah.
And we were all awake. Like his relief woke everybody up, or the guy that he relieved woke everybody up, right? And we're all laying in our fart sacks, and he's just walking the perimeter, and we're all just going, dude, he got so mad. He was like, that's not fucking funny. Like, yeah, dude, it is. It really is. And
we didn't do it.
Field problem. At the end of the field problem, we were like, Squad leader goes, fine, you can fucking do whatever you want with that beverage powder packet now, you fucking cherry, right? And he's like, fuck it. And he tore it open and poured it in his canteen and shook it up and drank it. And he's like, this shit tastes so good.
Worth it.
We're just like, wow, dude. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We're like, how did you not fucking just, I mean, if we hear gunfire, we're gonna come running, dude. And he's like, we're like, he goes, why aren't you guys fucking giving me a hard time? Oh, we're doing it now, though. Trust me, it would have been a lot. I mean, it would have been a lot. It wouldn't have been as bad. Just know this, okay?
Exactly.
Like, you take you take the expected cherry response to a problem, and you multiply it by a factor of 10, and that's what this dude did, right? His only saving grace is that he was from Dallas.
Well, I mean, you have to wonder though, if he hadn't come up on that cemetery, how far would he have actually gone before he thought,
I'm fucking lost. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't know what to do. You know, like at what point? I mean, yeah. I mean, when are the survival instincts going to kick in? Like maybe I just need to sit here until somebody comes along. You know, somebody's going to come along and they're going to be like, "What unit are you with?" I don't know.
Where's your AO?
Who's your squad leader? Oh my god, dude.
Or in the army, right?
Yeah, you know, like does your parents know you're out here playing soldier? Good lord, dude.
Do your parents know where you are?
And then when we get back, right? We get back from the field, we're in the rear and we're in the barracks. And dude, the entire company heard about it. Like that story spread like wildfire. Like the
no fucking way you don't.
And listened to the whole tale and repeated it. Like he briefed the entire company. Like we had company, we had chow as a company that night, right? We had hot A's or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, the XO is just running around telling this story. It's a great story, right?
It is.
And he like for a month after we got back from the field, all he would hear is like, he's like, oh, you guys. And at a certain point, man, we had to stick up for our boy. We're like, dude, look, come on, man, enough is enough. All right, just your 5th platoon, whatever. Just leave our guy alone. You know, if anybody's gonna fuck with him,
got him.
You know,
yeah, we've got him enough. Although it's there enough for that though.
You know, I mean, he just, dude, it was that was a fucking great experience right there. But yeah, so like I just fucking ran. Like, dude, shoot at him. Like, I just think they don't fucking know that.
They still make noise.
Like, I mean, and what's even better is that we had bayonets, and we're like, fix bayonet and maybe stab at them.
You're
fucking
not unarmed.
Thrust and fucking slash. I mean,
go through basic, right?
Well, like
butt stroke series to the head. Go. No, that doesn't ring a bell at all.
What makes the grass grow? Good lord.
Oh man. It's just a failure.
Good times
all the way around.
He's a good dude though. I mean, I've talked to him a couple of times since we've gotten out, and he's on Instagram. I probably need to re-download and reinstall Instagram. So probably reach out to him and be like, hey dude, I redacted your name, but I told your story of your first field problem. See how he feels about that, you know. He'd be like, man, fuck you. I'll be like, dude, I kept your name out of it. So what more do you want? You know? But it's out there now. So.
But you know who you are.
Yeah. Not that he would ever listen. I mean, he might. You know, the job that he has affords him some pretty considerable downtime. So yeah. whatever points A and B that he is across this wonderful globe of ours, listen to my sultry voice talking shit about how he ran away from some homeless dogs.
Ass in the air, shit flying everywhere.
I mean, just the visualization of him in a tree. I'm just like,
listen, it's impressive as shit though that he climbed a tree and then managed to
with his pants down
himself, and then pull his pants. Like that's listen,
and he didn't drop his weapon.
Like,
he maintained positive control of his weapon the entire time.
Right, he didn't lose anything.
I think that is the one pure reason why he didn't get put into muscle failure that night.
Oh God, can you imagine?
God,
having to go fucking hands across America in the tree line trying to
right
fucking weapon. Oh,
glorious day. Oh, all right. Well, we have now hit hour and 33. We're gonna cut it short tonight.
Well, short for us.
Yeah, short for us. But for our fans,
proud.
Right, for the fan that keeps popping in and out, I mean, the attention span is your attention span is real, and we appreciate you coming back.
We can both absolutely relate.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
I think it's more morbid curiosity. He just wants to see what random shit we're talking about at this moment. He's like,
yeah, I mean,
no, this is still too weird. Nope, I'm out.
He's like, not sure if I'm watching an episode of The Twilight Zone.
That lady wants to do what to her car? No.
She drives stick. How?
Wow.
Yeah.
Flexible.
Like, she missed a gear. Like, brings a whole new meaning to the phrase. It dropped out of gear.
Slipped the gear. Stop it. No.
That morbid curiosity. She's like, stop it. That morbid curiosity. If I'm traveling 65 miles an hour down the highway, can I throw it in reverse and survive? Yes, you can, but your transmission won't. Like, you can do it once per transmission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Although, it's like, what was it? It was an episode of Top Gear, I think it was, right? They were like everyday poor man cars, right? Like there was a Ford car that they did that to. They were driving down the road and they just put it in reverse. And you saw the reverse camera come on, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't go, go. It just, the transmission went into neutral until they put it back into drive.
Right.
But I'm like,
absolutely nothing.
I don't want to do that with my wife's Expedition.
Once you drive the wheels off of it, it'd be an interesting experiment.
I mean, I may try to do that with the Edge when it comes time to trade it in. Just to see what happens.
It just scrapped out on me on the way here. I don't know what happened.
In the dealership, that you get your $2,000 Mercy trade in. Like,
Mercy trade in. So we feel bad. It's a participation trophy,
right?
And yes, Maria, we absolutely did.
We did say slipped a gear, threw it in reverse.
Strip a gear. So give us credit for that.
Yeah, exactly. You almost feel like we have to redeem ourselves before we land the plane because, I mean,
we can't just leave it like that.
Yeah, we just can't.
Yeah, I feel like we.
I mean, overall, I think we had a good effort tonight. So
we did. We avoided all the buzzwords.
We did. David's going to be proud. David's going to go back and listen to this episode, and he's gonna text me, and he's going to be like, "Good job."
We kept Colin out of trouble. We kept you out of trouble.
Yes. Yes.
This was solid effort. I give us a solid A minus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think, Colin?
I mean, we're under 2 hours, so
We're a considerable amount under 2 hours
For now.
for now. We're
We
gonna
will remain under 2
we're
hours.
talking about we're going to talk about the grading curve, and
we always find a way to go over 2 hours.
yeah, I think A minus is good because we did have some dead air a few times, but
hey, but contextually, I think the dead air served its purpose.
It
emphasized the deplorableness of that joke.
Yes, absolutely. It was dead air with a purpose.
It was. And if we go back and I happen to listen to, I'm going to look at the timestamp on this episode. And David, I'm telling you now, if I go back and look at the timestamp on the episode after you upload it to Spotify and it's shorter, oh, son, you and me are going to have some words. Oh, boy, I'm telling you what.
And he won't be on air, so he can use all the buzzwords. All the no words.
Yeah, all the no words. I mean, he's like, oh, I get it, because, like, I like to use the C word, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a great word. Because, I mean, I texted him the other night. I was like, hey, you got a minute to get on? I want to talk about this list of words. And so we got on there. We were talking for a little bit, and I was just like, that is so what I'm looking for. The synonym for happy. Look at that, just
yep,
right around it.
Like a fat ballerina.
Oddly enough, she still gets stood up for prom. Someone should tell me what those words are off the show, of course.
Oh, like you don't already know.
Imagine
the
words that are out there now that are considered derogatory towards a specific demographic.
Think bundle of sticks or British cigarette.
Yeah, there you go. And Billy Butcher's favorite word on The Boys.
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, I like that.
Great Friends Club,
Oh, yeah. The Great Friends Club. Oh, absolutely. Did I give you that hat? I think I've got a hat somewhere anywhere. It's a GSFS.
I don't know if I still have it or not. It might be there. Or it's at Grammy and Papa's. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's not there. No, it's not there. It can't be there. It's either here or there. Anyway, so Jake Barr, right, on TikTok, like links, merch link in the bio, and he's like, whoop,
hit him with a hard T.
You hit him with the hard T. I love that dude. I bought a hat and a couple of shirts from him. Great.
I would love to, but I can't wear. I can't. Well, I can wear hats at work, but I have to wear them backwards, and I can't stand it because the cameras have to see our face.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't wear my hat. But I actually finally, with this masterpiece here, finally got somebody out in public noticed it and commented. It was a poor young lady at Half Price Books. She was checking us out. I bought a couple of books, and she just starts laughing. She's like, "I like your hat." Mm-hmm. And I had to think for a second. I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. I did wear that hat."
Nice. Yeah, no. One of my more endearing habits. It's more like a ritual. Colin's mom, bless her heart, she did not understand the reason or the need for this. But my wife, Mindy, she's like, okay, she gets it, right? It's a whole superstition thing, right? It's a ritual. Every new season, I have to buy a new Red Sox hat. Yeah. I have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you'd still wear the old hats, but you got to have the new hotness for the new season.
Yeah.
even if the team isn't a certifiable train wreck.
I think one of my favorite hats is the camel one that you gave me with the gold on it.
Oh yeah, the Armed Forces Day Red Sox hat. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's probably my favorite hat.
But we have gone from an hour and 20 minutes to now an hour and 43 minutes.
Every time, man.
We are
It's like,
knocking on 2 hours.
God, we're
As
okay.
usual.
All right. So whether or not the runway is congested or whether or not it's free, don't care. We're bringing this bird in for a landing. It is a hot LZ. So everybody, I'm going to need you to disembark from the aircraft and unask the AO. Get off into the wood lines and establish yourself with an ace report, radio win, guidons. If you are pinned down, how copy over. For those of you who have been in attendance for the entire course of this debaucherous evening, we thank you for episode 149. Next week is Nerd Sports 150.
Momentous occasion.
Momentous occasion. And if it wasn't for the fact that I don't want to burn my house down, I'd come in here with sparklers. But with that being said, I'm Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
Colin Skillen.
And you have been privy. You have been indentured. You have been tied down. You have been bent over a barrel of whiskey. Let's just go with that. You have been violated. And you are welcome. And in the words of our forefathers, our seafaring forefathers, scissor me timbers. Arr.
Laters.
Deuce.